welcome to your mat. My name is Stacey, and I'll be guiding you through this gentle yoga practice today. For today's practice, you'll want to have a block as an option nearby, but if you don't have a block, you can just choose any similar shaped items at home. Maybe choosing a folded up pillow or a stack of books. Whatever you have available will work, and you can also modify if you don't want to use the block at all. So go ahead and get what you need for your practice, and I'll meet you on your back in Shavasana. Take a few moments to settle onto your back and onto your mat. Send your arms and legs wide away from your body. The fingers spread wide, the palms face up. The ankles soften, allowing the toes to fall wherever they choose. Take a big breath in through your nose, let your belly rise up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, let it soften and fall. Big breath in, belly rise. Soft breath out as the belly falls. Follow your own rhythm of breath. Each breath in, your body's invitation to take up space. Each breath out, melting you deeper into your mat and grounding you into this moment. Start to awaken the body by wiggling your fingers and toes. Take a few gentle rotations through your wrists and ankles in both directions. Slide your feet together at the bottom of your mat. Draw the right knee in towards you, bringing the sole of the right foot onto the mat. Left leg stays extended long with the left toes drawn towards your face. Start to tip over onto the pinky toe edge of the right foot. Opening the right knee to the right side of the room as you slide the sole of the right foot to rest on the inside of the left leg. Ground down through the left hip. You'll place one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. Just feel the gentle rise and fall of your breath as it moves through your body. As you settle into this reclined tree pose, just notice the left leg's tendency to grow passive. If you notice the left toes are collapsing over to the left side of the room, see if you can draw them back through center, staying flexed through the left ankle as if you're standing on a wall in front of you. that same position of the legs, the tree pose legs. We're going to reach the arms up overhead, resting on the floor. You can take hold of opposite elbows, or if space allows, you can extend the arms long. Again, deep flex in the left ankle, your toes are drawn towards your face. Equal weight in the left and right hips. Take a big breath in to lengthen from the fingertips to the left heel. As you exhale, soften back into the mat. Inhale, find some length. Exhale, let it go. Take 3 more breaths, following your own rhythm. Relax your arms at your sides with or without the help of your hand. Draw the right knee up through center. Hug it in towards your chest. Keep your left leg extended long for wind relieving pose. The left leg remains active, but the right leg can soften. Releasing through the right ankle, let the toes fall where they choose. Breath in to lengthen. As you exhale, find a twist. Cross the right leg over your body to the left. Option to bring the right knee to rest on your block. Stacking your right hip on top of the left. See if you can encourage the right shoulder down towards the floor. Maybe you extend the right arm long at your sides or bring it up overhead. Left hand can be resting on the right knee, encouraging it down into the block or a little bit closer to the floor without being forceful. The gaze can be at the ceiling or over to the right. Send your breath deep into the lower right belly. Draw your gaze back through center. The right knee will follow. Hug your right knee in towards your chest. We're going to transition the grip behind the right thigh here. So just interlacing your fingers behind the thigh. You can keep as much bend in the right leg as you like as you start to extend the right foot up towards the sky. For a little bit of a stretch here into the back of the right leg. If this is a little too much, you can always bring a bend into the left knee. Send the right hip away away from the right shoulder and down into the mat as you reach the right heel high. Keep the right leg as still as you can. We're going to start to draw some circles with the right ankle, pointing and flexing as you go. As if you're drawing circles on the ceiling here, but the leg itself remains still. Circle in the opposite direction. The next time the right ankle comes into a flexed position, just pause there for a few breaths. Bend the left knee, bring the sole of the left foot to the floor if it's not already there. The right leg still extended to the ceiling. Start to turn the right toes towards the right side of the room. Bend at the right knee and let the pinky toe edge of the right foot land on the left thigh. Keep your hips centered. As you do this position, you're going to feel the right hip shifting away from your shoulders. Can you bring it back in line with the left? Root down through the left hip as you start to guide the right knee away from your shoulders. Take a big breath in the center. As you exhale, start to tip the knees over to the right, keeping that figure four shape of the legs. Follow your breath in as the legs come back through center. On an exhale, let the legs go over to the left. So you're coming onto the pinky toe edge of the left foot here. The right knee continues to reach away from the shoulders. Follow your in-breath, come back through center. Exhale over to the right. Inhale back through center. Exhale to the left. Taking two more, follow your own rhythm of breath. As you come up through center, pause there. If you're feeling a nice stretch, you can stay as you are. Otherwise, option to draw the left knee in towards you. Interlace your fingers behind the left thigh. As you hug the left knee in, send the right knee away from the shoulders. Opposing forces here. Stay long through the low back, keeping the pelvis in contact with the floor. It's going to want to scoop up and point towards the sky. Instead, can you focus on lengthening through the low back and let this stretch really be isolated to the hips, glutes, and thighs. An option here, if you'd like your arms to be able to rest at your sides, is to simply bring your block beneath the left foot. Depending on how tight you are through the hips, this may feel nice instead of drawing the knee in all the way. Onto the mat. Put the right foot joint in. Extend the right leg long to the bottom of your mat. Left knee is still bent, sole of the left foot on the floor. Start to tip onto the pinky toe edge of the left foot, coming into your reclined tree pose. Sole of your left foot is on the inside of the right leg. This can be close to your pelvis or down by your knee or a little bit lower if you prefer. Place one hand on your belly, one hand on the heart. If you remember what side you did last time, choose the opposite. It's likely the grip that feels more awkward and uncomfortable. The body is a creature of habit and tends to always choose to do things the same way. So it's good to switch it up from time to time. Strong, active right leg, so heavy right hip. Space allows, you can reach your arms up overhead, maybe taking hold of opposite elbows or extending them long. Take a big breath in to lengthen from the fingertips to the root of the right heel. Exhale to soften down into your mat. Big breath in, find some length. Exhale, let it go. One more time. Draw your left knee up through center. You can hug it in towards your chest for wind relieving pose. Every breath in fills your belly so much so that it starts to press the left thigh away from you. Every breath out, the belly softens, creating space for the left knee to hug in. Find some length on your next breath in. And as you breathe out, find your twist, cross your left leg over the body. You can use the block beneath the left knee for some support. While the left hip stacks itself upon the right hip, the left shoulder is working its way back towards the floor. Choose whatever arm variation or gaze feels best in your body today. Draw your gaze back through center. The left knee finds center as well. Hug the left knee in towards you. And then we're going to transition the grip behind the left thigh. Start to extend the left heel up towards the ceiling. Just taking note if you feel a little more tension on this side or maybe you have a little more space. It's normal to be asymmetrical from side to side. You can always bend the right knee if it's a little bit too much on this side. Start to draw a circle on the ceiling with the left toes. In both directions. Pausing in the center with the toes drawn towards your face for a few more breaths. Bring the sole of the right foot onto the mat if it's not already there. Take an external rotation of the left hip, so turn the left toes to the left side of the room. Bend your left knee and create that figure four shape with your legs for reclined pigeon. Just take a moment to align your hips. Send that left knee away from your shoulders. And we'll start to take a big breath in together. As you exhale, send the knees over to the right. Follow the breath in as the knees come back through center, maintaining that figure four shape. And exhale the knees to the left. Inhale through center, moving slowly and mindfully. Follow your breath. Exhale to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale to the left. Take 3 more in each direction. Follow your own rhythm of breath. Slowing the breath and slowing the movement. Rush to get there at all, but when you finish your 3, just landing in the neutral pelvis, your reclined pigeon pose. Just check in if you're feeling that stretch into the outer left hip and glute. You can stay as you are, or you can draw the right knee in towards you, interlacing the fingers behind the right thigh. Go a little bit deeper, you can hold on to the right shin instead. Just notice here if you're starting to scoop your tailbone up off of the mat, or if the head or shoulders are beginning to lift. It can be a sign that you've gone a little bit too far today. Maybe take this opportunity to lower the right foot onto your block instead. And just allow your head and shoulders to rest softly on the floor. Send your right hip away from your shoulder and down into the mat. Lengthening up the right side body. From And the left knee continues to reach away from you. Lower the right foot onto the mat if it's lifted. Let the left foot join it. A gentle sway of the knees from side to side. Find your center. Bring your right arm up overhead. Roll over onto your right side body. You can round through your back body by drawing your knees in a little bit closer towards your chest. When you feel ready in your own time, find your way up to a tabletop position. Shoulders are over the wrists, hips are over the knees. We'll move through a few cat and cows. Take a big breath in, lift the tailbone, belly drops. Heart pulls forward, gaze comes up. Exhale, rounded spine. Hollow at the chest as you look to your belly. Lift the tailbone, belly drops. Pull the heart forward and up. Exhale for cat, rounding your spine. Look to the belly button. Follow your breath. Every inhale, find your cow like that. Every exhale, really exaggerate the curve of your spine. Tuck your tailbone beneath you for cat. Take one more in each direction. Land in your tabletop. Big toes come to touch. Knees go wide apart. Send your hips back towards the heels. Child's pose. And slide your fingertips away from you, pressing them firm into the floor to activate the arms. Forehead can be resting on the floor or on your block. Also the option to use a block, a bolster, or a pillow beneath the hips for some support in your child's pose. Use the pressure of the fingertips, the palms of your hands on the floor to drag your body forward without actually moving it. So it's as if you're trying to slide your body across the floor, but the hips don't move. Just creating a little bit of traction and activation through this pose. Keep the hips centered, maintaining that same length in the upper body. You can walk the hands to the top right corner of your mat. Sink the left hip down towards the left heel. Both armpits are equal distance to the floor. The left hip likely wants to creep down a little bit closer. Can you bring them back in line? Option to place the left hand on top of the right for a little more length. Slowly find your way back through center. Land for a breath. And then over to the left this time, sliding just the hands and upper body, the hips stay centered, and we're reaching for the right foot. Maybe your right hand stacks on top of the left. Breathe space into the right side body. Come back to center. Full breath here. Find your way into a tabletop. From your tabletop position, we're going to extend the right leg long behind. Turn the right toes to face the right side of the mat. Bend your right knee, step forward, top right corner of the mat. Taking a bit of a wider lunge here for lizard pose. You can turn the right toes out slightly towards the right side. Maybe you have the option of coming onto the pinky toe edge of the right foot. Lift the left, or rather, lift the inner arch of the right foot off of the mat, as if you're showing the inseam of the right pant leg to the sky. You can have as much or as little bend to the back leg as you like. Mine's able to extend out nice and long, but if you have more of a bend here in the back leg, then that's okay too. It's just a matter of how much flexibility or mobility you have through the hips. It is not to say one is better than the other. Staying here on your hands, creating length through your back body, draw the heart forward. If you'd like to bring a little bit of a twist into this, bring some weight into the left hand. Bring the right hand onto the right knee. Start to open your heart up to the right side of the room. Option to extend the right fingertips up towards the sky, gaze can go up. If you'd like to bring a little bit of a quad stretch into this, you can bend the left knee, draw the left heel to your bum, reach the right fingertips back for the right ankle, holding on to the left foot, left hand leg. Maybe you use a strap if you have one to make that left leg a little more accessible. And keep breathing. If you find this is a little too much on the left hand, the left wrist, you can always come up onto your fist or lower down onto your left forearm, onto your block. Slowly lower the left foot if it's lifted, return the right hand to your knee. Bring the right hand onto the mat. Heel toe your right foot through center, landing in a low lunge. You want your legs to be about hip distance apart. We're looking for a stretch in the front of the left thigh. So again, you can have as much bend in the left leg as you need as long as you're feeling that stretch. If you find the right knee is jagging on the right ankle, it could be a sign that you're able to slide that left knee back a little bit. Always the option if you have two blocks in your home to bring your hands up onto the blocks in your lunge. You're going to find that creates more space in your low back. Just taking a few breaths here in your low lunge. Squeezing the inner thighs toward each other as the outer hips reach out and back behind you. Walk your hands back towards your hips. You're coming up onto the right heel. Draw your right toes towards your face. Really think about sending the left hip towards the left heel instead of the right. The right hip is just reaching towards the back of the mat, not shifting over to the left side. Walk your hands forward, frame the right foot. Bring your right hand to the inside of the right leg, heel toe to the outer edge. Shift your hips back, slide the right foot to meet the left. Take a little sway of the hips from side to side. We'll move to the opposite side, so left leg this time extends long. Turn your toes to face the left side of the mat, bend through your left knee. Take as many steps as you need. Maybe you reach back with the left hand, pick up your left foot and carry it forward, that's okay too. Find how much bend you need in the right leg to feel the stretch, but not discomfort in the toes. The big toe on the right foot is pointing back behind you, not to the sidewall. With your wider stance, turn the left toes out to face the left side. Maybe coming on to the pinky toe edge of the left foot, show the inseam of the pant leg to the sky. Again, a few options for those wrists if they're in discomfort. You can fold up a towel beneath them, come up onto fists, or lower your forearms onto the floor or onto your block. Just find the height that works for you. If you'd like to bring in the twist, we're bringing the weight into the right hand this time. The left hand can come up onto the left knee, maybe encourage the knee open a little bit further. Option to send the left fingertips up towards the sky. Or if you'd like that quad stretch on this side, bend through the right knee. Reach the left hand back behind you to take hold of whatever is accessible to you. Keep breathing. Slowly release the right foot. Bring the left hand onto the left knee first. The left hand comes to the floor. Heel toe, the left foot through center. Find your low lunge. Yeah, just finding the width between your legs that works for you. We don't have to walk a tightrope here. Come up onto fingertips. You may find that brings you enough length, or bring your hands onto a block. Try not to just sink into the hips. Keep your legs active here. It's as though the left heel is drawing itself towards the back of the mat. The right knee is pulling itself forward without actually moving them. From here, start to walk the hands back towards the hips. Come up onto the left heel. Find a flat back. We're trying to avoid that cat like that. Don't worry about touching your forehead to your shin. Instead, you draw your heart beyond the left toes. Keep the hips tracking through the midline, not shifting over to the right. Walk your hands forward, frame your left foot. Bring your left hand to the inside of the left foot, heel toe to the edge. Slide your left foot back to meet the right. Land in your tabletop, give your hips a little sway from side to side. Land in the center. So from our tabletop here, we're going to move into puppy pose. Similar to child's pose, we're going to walk the hands forward, but this time we're going to keep the hips lifted over the knees. The hips are not setting back towards the heels, they're staying uplifted. Walk the hands towards the top of your mat as you slowly lower your heart towards the floor and gazes down. If you have a lot of tension to the shoulders, this may be as far as you get, and that's okay. Sometimes it feels nice to bring the block beneath you, choosing what height works best. So give yourself something for the chest to rest on. If you do have the ability to bring the forehead and the heart down towards the mat, and you'd like to go a little bit deeper, you can bring your chin to the mat and draw the gaze forward instead. Unless the heart is touching the mat, you want your gaze down towards the floor. The hips stay lifted. Keep breathing. We're going to slowly rise up out of this. You may find it helpful to bend the elbows first. Slide your block out of the way. Big toes come to touch, knees go wide apart, shift your hips back to a child's pose. Let this child's pose be a little more passive by relaxing through the arms. Maybe bending the elbows, letting the arms passively rest on the mat. Letting go of all effort. If you prefer to bring the knees a little bit more narrow, you're welcome to. You can send the arms back behind you. It's a great way to rest the shoulders after a pose like that. Extend your arms out long in front of you. Rise up through tabletop. Come to find our way onto our back. With the knees bent to begin, soles of the feet on the floor. Press the soles of your feet into the mat, lift your hips up, slide your block beneath them. Lower the hips back down for a supported bridge pose. You'll want to choose the lowest setting for this one today. Slide your shoulder blades beneath you. Palms face up. Feel the weight of the hips hips supported by the block. Remove the block at any time that it becomes uncomfortable. We're going to draw the right knee in towards the chest. Take hold of the right knee. From here, extend the left leg long to the bottom of the mat, reaching through the left heel. See if you can straighten the left leg and allow the heel to rest on the floor. If the heel can't quite make it there today, that's okay. Maybe bring a folded up towel underneath of the heel. Looking for a little bit of a stretch in the front of the left hip. So just directing the right knee maybe a little bit more towards the armpit. See if that changes the stretch for you. Creating as much distance as you can between the tip of the right knee and the left heel. Give yourself permission to adjust your block at any time if it becomes uncomfortable or is digging into your tissues. Draw the left knee in to meet the right. Take one breath here. A great opportunity to readjust that block if you need. Maybe interlacing your fingers with the opposite grip, take hold of the left knee and extend the right leg long this time. Again, we're working towards a straight leg here. Just position your left knee until you start to feel the stretch at the front of the right hip. Draw the right knee in to meet the left once again. Check in on the block if it's shifted. Lift your hips up, reposition it so it's supporting the pelvis, not digging into your low back or spine. We're going to slowly extend both legs this time, one at a time, to the bottom of the mat. If this is not working for you, please feel free to keep the knees hugged in. We won't be long. Let your arms come at your sides. The legs are extending long, using the block to lift the hips up a little bit away from the mat. Finding a gentle back bend here, stretching through the front of the thighs and hips. And keep your low ribs drawn in as you find your breath. Filling your belly with each breath in and softening with each breath out. One by one, bend the knees. Draw the knees towards you. And then we're going to extend them up towards the sky for legs at the wall or waterfall pose. You can choose whatever arm variation feels good. Maybe the arms reach up overhead. Maybe you place one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. Want the block to feel supportive, but if it is digging into your tissue and uncomfortable, just lift your hips, reposition it until you find that sweet spot. You can also choose to lay a towel or a blanket over the block if you have sensitive skin or tissues. One by one, lower your feet down onto the mat. Lift your hips up and release the block. Take a little sway of the knees from side to side, whatever movement feels good to release any tension from the low back and hips. And then extend your legs long to the bottom of your mat. Release your arms at your sides, setting your body up for its final resting pose, Shavasana. You can soften your gaze or perhaps close your eyes completely. Just take a few slow breaths in and out through your nose. And giving yourself these few moments of stillness on your mat, resisting temptation to get up and go early, allowing your body this time to really absorb the benefits of its practice. Take a few moments to scan your body without judgment or attachment, from the tip of your toes to the top of the head and all of the tissues between. Just noticing any subtle changes you may feel from when you first landed here on your mat. When you do decide to get up and go, do so slowly and mindfully, taking a little bit of that awareness and breath with you into the rest of your day, your evening, and your week. With such gratitude as always.